Isolated has a different SRL name, and I mixed up the SRL names and equated you to said SRL name, and I was like, wait, that's Isolated.
Alright,
Okay.
we are off and running now.
We had a
With start
Deadwood
screen near
start
the Dead
screen.
Woods.
Yeah. So, I guess, since the beginning is kind of just looking around and hoping you find something good, should I talk about the differences between bracket flags and Swiss flags? Because we're still in round one and there might be some people who don't know.
I think that would be a fantastic idea, Laurie. Lay them on us.
Alright, so there's three differences within the bracket flag set that's different from the Swiss flag set. The first one is going to be, I'm trying to think of which one is important immediately. Isolated picks up a candle, so let's talk about enemy health. Enemies and bosses that I believe don't include not including Ganon in that bosses, are going to have different health. Instead of having the set health that they always have, like in vanilla, the health of these enemies can be a range between 2 less and 2 more than an enemy's vanilla health. So, for example, a red Wizrobe can take anywhere between a red Wizrobe can take anywhere between 2 and 6 hits to take out with a one sword, just as an example. The second example here, as the second main difference here, as Isolated finds level 2, is going to be dungeon rooms. We have second quest rooms on in the dungeons, meaning that push blocks can be in locations that they would be in level 2, or in second quest. And there are also second quest exclusive room layouts, such as the turnstile room that you might see later. Turnstile being an example. There was one that people wanted to show me. It was like funny tea room or something, but I forgot the name of it. Hopefully we'll see that because I want to see that. But the last difference is hints. Now, Wand under Armos, that's a huge thing for Isolated, already has a good weapon. But the last thing that changed was the hints. Instead of hints being helpful, in which every hint will tell you information about the seed, it is now mixed. So some hints will be helpful and tell you about the seed, but others will be community hints. And community hints are basically just kind of jokes that don't do anything to you except waste your rupees if you buy them, or maybe give you a quick chuckle if you're in a dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, the dungeon may be where that really hurts, especially in level 9. If you're looking for a hint about where the silver arrows are, or where the map is, or where Ganon or the princess are, and all you get is the old man trolling you.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce was the real hero of Hyrule.
But, as I said, both players have found more or less the same thing so far, despite slightly divergent routes. Both found level 2 and the wand, and now Isolated finding level 6 at start. The winner of this matchup will take on the winner of Breasticle and Your Majesty in the next round, the loser taking on the loser of said matchup.
JKoper having a bit
of... getting a restart from JKoper.
Oh. Hey.
Not sure what happened there.
I don't know. That's been happening. I think it might be a problem with what they're using when it comes to grumbling on Death Mountain. When it comes to hardware, I'm not sure. I know nothing about computers or tech or anything, so I'm kind of an idiot.
Yeah, so that was a good hint, though. We do see that level 7 will be located on Death Mountain.
Yep.
Good information for Isolated. As now JKoper's going to take this opportunity to dig out a little bit of level 2 with the wand. Ooh,
the thing
bombs
is,
picked up.
You need to do the item thingy thing, the enemy thingy even, because you can't hit Wizrobes with the wand. So JKoper has to exit and re-enter the room and respawn different enemies so that they can get around needing to kill the blue Wizrobe. Or the red Wizrobe.
Well, he can't though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The primary enemy to spawn in that room is the blue Wizrobe, so he's stuck with it whether he likes it or not.
Yep. Isolated has bombs, though.
Yes, he did get a bomb drop off of either a blue Octorok or a Gibdo in the overworld. And something interesting I noticed that I forgot about somewhat until we hit this new flag set. People noticing that sometimes it seems like a red Octorok or a blue Octorok takes a certain amount of damage, and then another time a different amount. Well, yes, there are technically two types of red and blue Octoroks on the overworld. The fast and the slow, and they count as different enemies when it comes to sorting out their HP. Isolated finding another level now, level 5.
Wow. And we get a hint on 6, of course.
Not quite so useful at this point for him. Not close to start, literally at the vanilla start screen.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty close. If you ask me, hey, you're gonna need these bombs. I would not have been surprised if Isolated just took the bombs that the game gave him and ran with them.
Yeah, certainly would have been a frowned upon play, but he's going to start exploring a little bit more of level 5.
Mm-hmm. Unless there are Wizrobes, you should not have a problem using the wand for combat.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
you also shouldn't find Ganon lying around randomly in dungeons.
Well, we have larger fish to fry in that situation if we do.
Yeah.
And we do have super ropes here of at least 3 HP.
Wow. So powerful. The ghost ropes in second quest enemies. I hate those things.
Oh, they're just...
I don't need them in this. Hey, there's a Triforce piece. But we're gonna look for the item. Hey, there's the heart container. But we're gonna look for the item. Hey, look, this room might have an item. I've seen so many seeds with... Oh. We're gonna look for the item. It's not the item room. That's not an item room. Silly wabbit.
But he does get a key to replace the one that cost him to go there.
It's cost like 1 or 2, I think. Whatever.
So now he either needs to take the Triforce or play Hyrule's favorite game, find the bomb hole.
No, I'm pretty sure there's more doors to go into.
Oh, okay.
Like that one. I don't think he went down.
But he picks up the
He's gonna pick it up. Not the worst idea. I mean, hey, a Triforce piece is a Triforce piece. No matter how many pieces it's in. Alright, we have our 4th warp at the bottom of Candle Row.
Ooh, and level 3, right next to level 5 at the 10 rupee Armos statue. I tell you,
Isolated has already found 4 dungeons.
Yeah, so in terms of pure exploration, he is killing it right now, and he knows the general location of level 7.
Yeah, and that's a good location. At this point, he might not need the wood sword if he finds a different sword.
Yeah.
And a white sword could be anywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, if he finds White Sword, that means the next open cave he goes to will be the Sword Cave.
Oh yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, taking a death there, getting a little too aggressive, as JKoper buys the commercial grade beef at vanilla level 1.
Where's the beef? It's in vanilla 1.
Yeah. Question from Alphon in chat: how many new block pushes introduced in the second quest rooms?
Too many.
Any room that has a leftmost block in the middle row of the room.
Not the spiral room.
Yeah, almost any. Beyond that, pretty
There's
much.
There's a staircase in this room, though. So
yeah.
If there is a block in the middle of the room, If there is more than... Okay, well, there is actually a push block room that's literally just one block.
Yeah.
If there is a block in the room that is in the middle row and is more left than any other block in the room, even if that means it's the only block in the room, but it's in the middle row, push it. You'll probably be able to push it. And reveal a staircase or something.
We find
This is a
this
terrible
segment
room
in
for
level
spike
3.
traps. This is, yeah, that's a staircase. And that's a Triforce room with a key in it. I think you should fight those Dodongos. Can you
I say,
stab the
can you stab
Dongos?
him with the wand? Is the question.
I mean, can you stab anything with the wand, really? You really
Leon,
poke.
you can. Well,
It's
I guess
really more of a poke. It's more of like a firm whack.
a friendly reminder.
Friendly reminder. There's nothing about this game is friendly.
Okay. And so we're getting the hint that a hint from chat from JKoper's side that the recorder is in level 4.
Wow, we've not found level 4 yet.
Unless 8 or 9 is recorder blocked, it's not required.
What? 8 or 9? What about level 1?
Oh, well, there's this thing that happened where I accidentally wrote a location down for level 1 already, even though we haven't found it. So that one as well.
Well, we're gonna find level 1 right here in Spectacle Rock. Watch. Nope. 4. Hey, level 4! It's recording.
Level 7 will be up there somewhere, though. With,
Somewhere, yeah.
With our hint that Gria grumbles on Death Mountain.
He doesn't know that, though, does he? Because I think that was Isolated hint.
Yeah, that was just
So,
Isolated that got that info.
That'll be good info. A good find for JKoper, especially going into the second half of Death Mountain with a sweet screen scroll.
Yeah, because Koper had never made it to level 6, so he did not find the hint about level 7's location. All that work and no push block.
That's a vanilla price blue ring.
Yeah,
Don't spend it all in one place. Oh! Oh! That's not... 138 rupee bigs.
Ooh! That's a lot.
That's a lot of money. That's over half the wallet.
Yeah, before JKoper made that discovery, I was going to point out that with the blue ring, its price is shuffled plus or minus 20, but if that amount goes over 255, it just reverts back to 250. So most of the time, it's going to be 250. And we find level 7 on the lower western half of Death Mountain.
I think the vanilla second quest. A letter?
Maybe. It's one screen below level 9 in second quest. And we're about to find out the coast item from Isolated, hopefully. Although he's about to find a dungeon first.
Level 8, what the heck? We just need 149.
This is an eastern seed, if ever there was one. Level 7 kind of balancing things out, being on the far edge, but everything else all over here. Ooh, not a room you want to see.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't even see it.
JKoper taking a death to the four-headed Gleeok after almost being done with it.
Yeah, it sucks. Gleeok can be really tricky. And really want it down as much as you can because it's a tough enemy. I'm pretty sure once bosses are dead, they stay dead. Probably a lie. I know that's true about Patra.
At least so long as you don't leave the dungeon, I know they stay dead.
I know Patra is dead permanently if they die. Patra dies if killed. That was a push block room.
Ooh, Okay, for a second I was worried that
6 HP manhandler. There's a
ooh,
man. Play that ink blot. That is a man. That is a mouse with a hockey stick on the ground.
it's a side profile of an octopus. It's Goma.
I actually see that. No, not the Goma, but the octopus thing. I see that. That's a push.
Oh, nice try. Isolated. Taking the wand to... Ooh, and we've got Goma in a possible push block room here for
Oof.
JKoper. And shoot! He's blocked from that side.
Oh shoot. Blocked from the heart container. Ah shoot.
Ooh, that's not a good room to be in. Isolated on a bottom row of the moat room with like five red wizrobes. JKoper trying this four-headed Gleeok again. Will he have a better time? Pulls it off and gets very little reward. The seed has been very open with locations, but otherwise quite unforgiving. As Isolated discovers a Triforce, but he knows there's 2 items here in level 8 that he wants to find. The compass not being one of them. Ooh, there's another possible push block room for Isolated, and that's a nasty one indeed. JKoper now finding level 6 at the vanilla start location as Isolated goes ahead, picks up the Triforce from level 8. I'm sure we will see him back there later unless he just magically discovers every item he could ever need. Now we'll get to see what the coast item is. It is the one and only one true Nanner, the magic boomerang. Ugh. Gleeok everywhere in this seed so far. JKoper probably seen enough of the four-headed Gleeoks at this point for his liking. And starting to wonder if there's any reason to even be in this room. Isolated making a purchase, and JKoper saying enough with level 6. Let's go on. Now, if Isolated can find the bow somewhere, either in a dungeon or as the white sword item, that'll give him an extra options for combat and maybe dealing with a Goma block that we saw earlier. Gets that heart container, guaranteeing him the white sword item when he discovers it. Not on that screen. Meanwhile, JKoper Gotta be getting frustrated at this point. No Triforces, no sword, lots of rupees. Here we are 20 minutes into this race, and he really doesn't even feel like he's even gotten started yet, probably. Ooh. A lot of blue Koreas guarding that. Heading to an open cave we haven't seen yet. Could it be our sword? It is! JKoper, first one to find the wooden sword. That could make up for some other deficiencies thus far in his race. JKoper now on a mad dash to find some compliments to this brand new shiny wood sword. Obviously, I am aware that he does run swordless, but in swordless, you're not looking at a unknown number of rooms with wizrobes that you have to clear. We've got Gleeok returns with the power bracelet as a hint. So power bracelet is in 8. And Gleeok returns with the boomerang. So boomerang and power bracelet, the 2 items in 8. It is possible that Isolated never goes back to there. And we have level 1. That's huge for Koper. Going to be 2 items in this dungeon. It should be a relatively small dungeon as well. Yeah, not much to it at all. A lot of Lionels so far. But let's see if we can sniff out some items here on JKoper's side. One, there is the raft, is the floor item in level 1. Ooh, and there's a dig dogger. Hopefully he's not blocking our other item. Ooh, read the book to save the princess. An incredible hint found in level 1 on JKoper's side. And Isolated finds the letter, allowing him to buy a potion later. JKoper is still trying to sniff out that second item in level 1. I am excited to see what it's going to be. No luck so far, though. He's finding lots of bombs, but that's about it. And he tried to bomb into that room and couldn't. Interesting. I didn't know that that was a capability in level 1. So here we are in a reverse C room. Could this be the item we're looking for? No, it is not. The blue Lionel's going down in less damage than usual. And here we have a blue wizrobe. Now JKoper does have a sword now, but that doesn't mean he's gonna try to take it down, especially since there was a drop in that room, so he knows that it was not the push block for the item. More wizrobes. And there it is. He could not bomb in here because it's a staircase. And there's the Triforce. He's going to get the item here. It's the book! Oh! There we go. The book in level 1. JKoper knows to stay the heck away from it, completely devaluing his wand if he picks that up. He's got his Triforce out of 1. And here we are, yet another dungeon cleared. Yet another dungeon with 2 items where we know what all is there. And not that impressive. Isolated picking up his sword in the middle of the desert, meanwhile. So now he'll have some respite against those wizrobes if he needs to. And there's the hints. Isolated's going to get his level 8 hints. That's going to be great for him, knowing that he may not have to go back unless we're looking at a power bracelet block in the future. And there's JKoper with level 4 discovery. He knows that the recorder is in here as he picks up a heart container. And Isolated now finding level 1, and yes, more Gleok. Just what JKoper was looking for, I know, as he takes the staircase to another portion of level 4. Yes, this is a very Eastern-heavy Hyrule, with level 7 sticking out like a sore thumb on the other end of the world. And there's our recorder pickup. It's not going to be a huge help for JKoper, considering how closely lumped so many of the dungeons are. But, you know, it's nice to have, especially if you run across Dig Dogger and can't figure out how to complete a dungeon. Oh, JKoper taken down by the Land Moli in that room. They take a lot more damage than you think when you're trying to just kill them really quick. Isolated, going through all the same motions that JKoper did in level 1. Unfortunately, not going to find anything other than a Lionel beam to the face currently. Later he'll probably find a raft in a book. Now we see that map for level 4. That is a twisted and mangled dungeon. JKoper just on a mad dash to try to find his Triforce at this point. Isolated now, having obtained the raft, is just going to need to make the correct turn to get into the room that has both the second item and the Triforce. He hasn't figured it out yet. He will get there, though, you gotta think. JKoper giving an up and A and gonna try something different in level 4. Getting our first look at some Wizrobe combat from Isolated, and now here he's gonna find the room that had eluded him. Just gotta play a good old-fashioned game of don't die. That fairy would certainly help. Hey, more money for JKoper. And Isolated. Oh, that was a pretty quick turnaround. So Triforce pickup in level 1 for Isolated, and he maintains his lead over JKoper in this race. Not finding anything that tickles his fancy there. Some fairly expensive items. And now going back to fight those Land Moli one more time. Probably hoping that they're going to be the Triforce. They are the compass, and we see, was that a ladder blocked level 4 I saw? we have ourselves a ladder block. Unless there was something I missed, and I don't think there was. I feel like JKoper went through those motions twice as he now discovers level 8. He knows the items are not likely to be helpful here, so he is going to be on a mad dash to find that Triforce. If he comes across the power bracelet, obviously he'll pick it up. Don't see him picking up the boomerang. It's not something you'd use to improve your arsenal 30 minutes into the race. And he finds the leave your bombs or keys. Looks like that's in a pretty far-reaching corner, so can kind of take solace in knowing there's probably not going to be anything behind that. Some strong Dodongo combat on Isolated's part. Open up that shutter door. See what we've got on this side. We've got keys. Ooh, good find there. The compass letting him know that he's very close to the Triforce. Probably still, we have not discovered the item yet in level 3, so he's going to probably still look around for that a little bit. Oh, and we have a push block. We've already seen a segment in here. The item, it's the ladder! Huge find for Isolated999 as things continue to go his way in this seed. As it looks like we may be joined now at special emergency commentary by none other than the Greenleaf Effect.
What's going on, everybody? What did I miss?
Oh, you have missed a very exciting race so far. Isolated999 is having the run of his life right now. Things are just coming up Millhouse for him left and right. JKoper having a tough time getting things going.
Definitely seems like that. So, first of all, that 8 map though,
right? The side profile of the either octopus or man with a terribly, terribly bad underbite.
Sure, but it looks like we've got some whiz ropes here in level 2. So from what I'm seeing right now, the only thing we're missing appears to be silver arrows, unless power bracelet or recorder are required.
That is true, but they both know. Perhaps Isolated might not know where the recorder is. He has not found level 4 yet. But he does know where the power bracelet is. They both have hits for the location of, or for both items that are in level 8. It is the power bracelet and some boomerang that some people like.
Ooh, would it be a yellow one?
It would be a yellowish brown one, fully ripe.
Fully ripe. Alrighty, I am down with some.
Ooh. I believe we have an any key pickup in level 2 for Isolated.
We do, because I see an A next to that key name.
And again, things keep coming up Millhouse for him.
Who is this Millhouse you speak of?
It's a Simpsons thing.
Oh, okay.
And we see yet another...
not in the loop.
A Goma leading to a Goma. So, with us not having found the bow yet, although it has to be in 5, 6, or 7 at this point. There's not much JKoper can do with that section of level 8, although we know it to be nothing of consequence, as Isolated cleared all this out earlier.
Oh, we have a map here for level 2. That just looks like a rope wearing a backpack.
I can see that. He's going on his cross-country journey.
But the question is, without any thumbs, how does the rope hitchhike?
You know, he's going to have a rough go with that. It's a long way to Tipperary when you're walking the whole way, I suppose. JKoper, yet again, finding more rupee secrets, despite having 255 rupees for the better half of this seed. Our first glimpse at the magical sword could be our last glimpse at the magical sword in this race.
Well, yes and no. I mean, based on what I'm seeing here on the map, it is very close to both levels 5 and 3, so all we need is a recorder, and we may have a chance to see a magical sword a little bit later.
Yeah, if we can get some more heart pickups. What about the nicest thing so far in this seed has been these blue Lionels going down in 2 wand hits. Really made things easy for them, especially considering the wand was found about 45 seconds in.
I'm guessing it was either in level 1 or the Armos item.
It was the Armos item.
Always fun.
Yeah. Well, and to catch up both those in chat and my co-commentator, we'll do a quick item recap here. Why don't you take it away, TGE?
Well, from what I know, hold on. We've got the Armos item was the wand. The any key was in level 2.
That is true. But
I'm gonna take a wild guess that the ladder was either in 3 or 5.
All right, that's some astute observations. We'll take this to a more serious direction. The raft and the book were in level 1. Level 2, as TG pointed out, contained the magic key. Level 3 had the ladder. Level 4, the magical tutti flute. We have not seen the item in level 5 or 6 or 7. Level 8 had the power bracelet and the standard issue boomerang. And then, obviously we don't know what's in 9 yet. We have not seen the white sword item, the coast item, the magic nanner, and the Armos item was the wand.
And hey, will you look at that? We've got a bow blocked Triforce in level 2.
Ooh. Well, he has the arrows. Isolated did make an arrow purchase earlier. We're just running out of places to find the bow at this point. It could be in 5, 6, or 7, or it could be the white sword item. That's about the extent of what we have. So he's going to go dig out 6 now, because it's been a while since he's been there. He has certainly increased his repertoire since then, especially with that ladder.
Yeah, ladder definitely makes exploring things a lot easier.
Yeah, and I believe level 4 had a ladder-blocked Triforce. Isolated doesn't know that yet, but JKoper made that very unfortunate discovery. In fact, dying in the room that dropped the compass, only to make it back to said room that drops the compass to see that he was ladder-blocked. It was quite a bit of time lost there for him.
That's never fun. As well as, finding a wonderful Gliok room that leads to absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, there have been a couple of those so far in this seed. The Gliok, 3 and 4-headed Glioks have been very popular so far.
Not the craziest things I've ever seen. I forget which Zelda classic hack I was watching, but have you ever seen a 40-headed Gliok?
I would rather not.
In theory, it's actually not a 40-headed Gliok. It's just 10 4-headed Gliok stacked on top of each other, but still, it's still 40 heads, man.
It's still terrifying.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrifying.
Oh, and JKoper going to be real thrilled to find that compass when he has already passed by the Triforce multiple times in this dungeon. And now he's thinking, oh gosh, do I have another ladder block on my hands here in level 5?
Yeah, this seems to be a very unfriendly seed if you do not have ladder, just based on, the 15 rooms or so that I've seen.
Okay, so he wasn't ladder blocked there. He's just trying to figure out where in the world this item is in 5. And quite frankly, so are we. I guess there is a decent amount of rooms we have not seen yet. We just haven't figured out how to get there, or maybe we were blocked and didn't notice it. Or perhaps we didn't play Hyrule's favorite game. Nope, it wasn't that.
What, find the bomb hole?
Find the bomb hole was not the answer in that particular room.
Also, that's a very blocky 5.
Yeah, a lot of these dungeons have been quite blocky so far. Especially the ones in the 1 through 6 grid.
So we've got 5 blue darknets here guarding what I presume to be the item staircase.
We can only hope at this point.
And only 21 rooms in this level 5. It's a fairly decent sized level, but because it's just so compact, it looks a lot smaller on the map than it actually is.
Oh yeah, and outside of level 3 and 4, which were both quite segmented, these have all looked pretty small. And now we will find under the staircase the bow.
Oh, that's huge, especially because ISO's already got the Triforce out of 5. That might just be the item that JKoper needs to get back into this.
That could be a turning point for JKoper. If we look back on this with a total burnination for Trogdor in the end, that is the thatched roof cottage that made all the difference.
You went really, really deep into that analogy.
Oh, well. I have to pretend like my knowledge of Homestar Runner will come in handy for something. So, JKoper picking up the Triforce, and just like that, he is only, in terms of Triforces, only 1 behind Isolated now. Which, in what has seemed like a race where he has been trailing the entire time, in actuality, here we are. And just as I say that, Isolated picks up the Triforce in 6.
Right, but as you mentioned earlier, the ladder is here in level 3, so JKoper finding the bow and going to get the ladder here out of 3, that's going to put him firmly in command of where he wants to go with this seat. Question for you is, has he found level 7 yet?
He has.
Okay.
He is the one who discovered level 7. Out in the middle of nowhere. Comparatively speaking. If you look at this map, you're going to notice that it is very much like ESPN, very heavily prejudiced towards the southeast.
Ooh! So what you're saying is this Seed's an Alabama fan?
Yeah, and so you've got level 7 playing the role of Oregon up there in the northwestern corner, whereas the rest of it is the SEC network.
Wow. Not at all biased for somebody who lives in Nashville.
It never did me any good.
So what you're saying is you were just happily volunteering your opinion?
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
What?
That one stings, man. And here to think, as JKoper finds the ladder, let's talk about the ladder.
I think you're just stepping away from this conversation.
Oh, astute point in chat by Solid Wife, who says low blow TGE.
But of course you're going to point out when Solid Wife makes a comment in chat, you're not biased at all.
Absolutely not. As now JKoper picks up that aforementioned Triforce in level 3, as Isolated is making what might be his first trip to the western side of Hyrule. Of course, we have discovered 8 of the dungeons thus far. There is one still very conspicuous by its absence. We have not checked any recorder, raft, or power bracelet spots thus far.
And we kind of need... we did check one raft spot. Vanilla level 4, Isolated checked that. But looks like we're kind of missing the final boss dungeon.
Yeah. I'm not saying that any one dungeon is more important than the others, but that's a pretty important one. And as we just discovered the white sword item, the also not important red candle.
Yep, it's not important until it is.
So now we are only lacking the items in 6, 7, and 9. The items we are missing: the heart container, the silver arrows, And I will come up with them, I promise.
The white sword.
The white sword and the red ring.
There you go. It's all
The white sword's a 9. I can almost guarantee that.
So based on the fact that you forgot the red ring and the white sword, color by numbers was not your strongest subject in school.
Never a fan of coloring, though. That's why I married an art major.
Shoutouts to Solid Wife. And oh my, that's quite the large secret there.
Isn't it, though? It almost makes sense why JKoper had 255 rupees for the entire seed, despite buying some somewhat useful and somewhat not so useful hints. As Isolated makes a Coca-Cola selection from the vending machine.
There's more southern biased.
Indeed. Now, if we could just get him to take a sun drop one of these times.
See, that one I actually have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I legit have no clue what that even is.
Oh, it's a citrus.
Whoa, what is it?
It's a citrus soda, kind of like in the vein of Mellow Yellow or Mountain Dew.
Okay, but we did find level 4, or level 9, excuse me. Not level 4, level 9 up here as well in Death Mountain.
Okay, so was it Isolated that found? Yeah, Isolated found it. Cool. So
well,
JKoper
if JKoper found a level in Death Mountain while in the northeast part of Hyrule, that'd be impressive.
Yeah. That was, okay. So JKoper found level 7 earlier, but did not discover level 9 when he was up here. So, Isolated, still on the hunt for that bow, is going to most likely dig this 7 as much as he possibly can.
Yeah, it's always disappointing when you have to dig these bigger levels for something when the thing you need is in a much smaller level. And you weren't kidding about this being a Gleeok breeding ground. That's all I've seen so far since I've gotten here.
Okay. Getting corrected by Solid Wife in the chat with her extremely complex college degree. Sorry about that. Meanwhile, Isolated999 in level 70. He took a death, I'm assuming. Or he up an 8. One or the other. I was looking away briefly.
That's fine. So basically what I gathered from the long drawn-out explanation of all of the Solid Wife degree characteristics is she's the smart one in the family.
I don't know. She married me.
I can't help you on that one, wife. I can't help you on that one.
As Gleeok Sr. claims yet another victim. The same victim he just claimed a few moments ago.
Well, that's what happens when you try and fight a Gleeok while you're, isolated.
Ooh.
I am not sorry at all.
You shouldn't be. So yeah, definitely has been a very Gleeok heavy seed. I feel like, and it may have been level 7 where I first started feeling that way, as JKoper found it relatively early. And oh, are we gonna get a potion? Isolated says I've had enough of this crap. The red potion's only 61 rupees. I could buy 3 more of them if I felt like it. Let's just kill this Gleeok and be done with him forever, and get rewarded with a key I don't need.
Hey, with as much money as in this seed, burning a potion there, not the worst thing in the world.
No, absolutely not. Now, having to burn all your bombs on the room past that Gleeok, may be the worst thing in the world.
You're not incorrect at that assessment, sir.
Not getting lucky with the one blue Riz robe on the overworld there, but oh, we've got a Gibdo sighting that could be useful for what he's looking for. Meanwhile, JKoper just gets to pick up bomb packs laying on the ground.
But the mummies decided to keep a little pack of bombs under wraps there, and now Isolated can continue on with the potential excavation of this Bubble Pop Pink level 7.
And, oh, nope. No go for him there.
Yeah, good news for JKoper. He has the bow and the arrow, so he can get the Triforce here out of level 2 that is Goma blocked.
Oh, that is certainly good news for him, especially considering the situation on Isolated's side. As things were going so well so early for him, and now obviously it's not like a situation where he's in an insurmountable deficit. He's not in a deficit at all, other than the fact that JKoper has the bow, and the fact that he already had that Isolated, like you said, already getting the Triforce out of level 3 means it's not likely to be the first place he thinks to check.
I was going to say, JKoper pulling an amazing Ampharos with missing all these arrow shots, but I'm like, no, wait, he's got 247 shots to go.
Yeah.
If he can't kill this Goma, we have a bigger problem.
Yeah. I think we might see a pity forfeit at that point if he had run out of rupees on Blue Goma.
Yeah. Isolated, looking to try and get some more BAMs here.
JKoper going to check that recorder spot and find a cloud and a potion shop. So, raft, recorder, power bracelet, not required at least to discover anything. There may be a dig dogger somewhere that's going to keep them from their ultimate goals, but it doesn't seem likely at this point. So I'll say recorder, raft, power bracelet, all not required.
Well, aren't you just a Debbie Downer?
JKoper about to discover everybody's favorite candle. He's going to take it.
I mean, it's not like you had to go down a stairway to get it, and it's a repeatable weapon. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world there.
No, and it... Unlike being spawned on top of a pea-hat, which is, in fact, the worst thing in the world.
No, not the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world is having to take a magical staircase in a full clear level 9, only to realize that Patra's guarding the magical staircase. And I think JKoper...
Did he soft-lock himself?
He soft-locked himself. Yep.
Oh!
Yep, he soft-locked himself.
Trying the screen scroll on a bad pixel, or not a bad pixel, but in a spot where he couldn't go across the other way. That's unfortunate. Yeah, one of the nice things that the red candle can do is you can sort of build a wall away against your enemies with it, or some enemies, especially, and we do have super ropes in this seed. So there's always the possibility that, you could use those to keep those at bay if you're in a room with other enemies and you don't want to, you can't focus solely on the ropes themselves.
Super ropes. That explains the level 2 map.
They beefed up. And we see Isolated going in and using his other potion here in this blue Wizrobe room that he feels like is necessary to clear. He does indeed get a push block. What is beneath it?
Show me staircase.
Just a transport.
Hey, who knows? It might be required. Although, this 4 map...
Yeah. 3 and 4 are segmented and were a little strange, which more than made up for the normalcies of 1, 2, 5, and the like.
I'm not sure there's anything normal about a backpacking rope, but okay.
But
I mean, unless you have giant snakes with backpacks, down in Tennessee.
Not in the parts I'm in. I'm pretty urban, so not a lot there. So this is where we saw JKoper die and then discover he was ladder blocked from the Triforce. Gonna have a little bit easier go of it this time.
And good thing for ISO, he's gonna go ahead and pick up the delicious bomb drop here. And hey, we've got a red ring.
There's the red ring.
That's huge for ISO right now, considering he just burned both of his potions. Red ring has got to be a nice welcome sight.
Yep, and with every step we inch closer to the almost certainty that we're going to have the silver arrows in level 9, which makes it a completely new ballgame.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Silvers in 9 is one of those big, giant equalizing things.
Yeah, because if you're just looking for Ganon and the girl, I know it's just one more thing to try to find the silvers, but it completely changes your strategy on how you're trying to traverse through the dungeon.
Also, can I point out, Ganon and the girl sounds like something you'd see on ABC's TGIF lineups.
TGEF, right here we are.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of those TGIF sort of shows. Ganon and the girl.
And a pizza place.
And a pizza place. That'd be 2 Ganons, a girl, and a pizza place.
So maybe JKoper will be kind enough to show us what the item is in level 6, so that we can rest easy in knowing where everything is.
Where was the power bracelet?
It's in level 8.
Okay.
Unless we got deceptive hints and nobody told me. Ooh, look at that 6. That's a dude with like a Rambo-style headband holding a machine gun.
See, I thought it was a duck with an extra long tail feather.
Ah, you're pointing the other direction, I see.
Yes. Shake your tail feather now.
Alright, so JKoper discovers the location of the Triforce. Let's see if... It's looking like he didn't take the most obvious path towards the Triforce, which leads me to believe he wants to see what the item is here.
Yep, and again, this is one of those level 6s where 23 rooms, it's a decently sized level 6, but because of the layout of it, it doesn't look nearly as bad.
It's not like one of those ones that's only 3 rows tall, but 8 columns wide all the way across.
Yeah, where you just look at it and you're like, why did I do this?
Yeah. Those always feel really big.
Oh,
no reason to go
yeah,
there.
nope. Yep. Well, we're like, yeah, no, we good. I'm gone. We good, fam. We good.
Yeah, no thanks to the... we're getting a pretty solid JKoper for those blue Landmola.
Oh. You know it's bad when I'm booing the pun. And I'm booing that pun.
Okay. I'll admit, it's not quite nailing the Coughlin from last tournament. But,
Nailing the Coughlin was good.
As we find a staircase in level 6, come on, show us what no. Okay.
Now, Isolated falling into the same trap that I tend to fall into here is, from the looks of it, he's looking for level 4. Level 4 is on the coast. Level 4 is one of those situations where the coast is one of the last places I tend to look, unless, my routing starts me there. So I can definitely feel Isolated's pain right now.
Yeah, those coast bomb spots occur to me less frequently than the so-called forgotten spot, for sure, because we at least gave it a name. In fact, when I wrote it down on my little sheet here, the location of level 4 is the place I affectionately just call Coast 2.
Well, there's Coast Heart. I call them Right Coast, Middle Coast, and Coast Heart, is what I do.
See, I've got... Oh, and do we have a bait block for the item in 6?
We might just have that. Come on, show me bait. Yeah, we
yes.
do! Show me bait block silver arrows, baby! Come on! Yes! We got bait block silver arrows! Yeah! That's amazing!
Oh, no!
Yes! Oh! Wow! That's huge!
No kidding. JKoper made a random traipse over to vanilla level 1 to buy the commercial grade beef early in this race, because he's constantly had this embarrassment of rupees. And we willed it to happen here, TGE. I got to give you some credit here. You willed it to happen as Isolated discovers level 4.
We did, but that is huge. You were talking about putting a nail in the coffin earlier. That's gonna the big deficit JKoper was in. That right there is huge. That puts JKoper in a commanding lead position here now.
Oh yeah, because you got to think Isolated's going straight to level 9 once he has the Triforce.
Well,
once he has all 8 Triforce pieces. If the only thing he doesn't know is what the item in level 6 is, he's going straight to level 9.
Oh, absolutely. But he's going to have to go back through and dig levels because he's going to have to find the bow. He knows he needs the bow to get the Triforce out of level 2.
Yeah.
So he has the options of digging 5 or digging 6. Now, depending on which choice he makes, if he digs 6 first and he finds the arrows, hey, he knows the bow's in 5. He digs 5 first and finds the bow. Oh crap!
Yeah.
He's probably going to 9.
Yeah. So honestly, the best thing that could happen to him is discover that bait block as soon as possible, because otherwise, he's going to be completely lost. And I would not fault him for skipping right over the silver arrows in 6 when you've only got three items left to find, and 2 of them are in level 9.
Yeah. Also, remember earlier when you said that there was no blocks in this seed? Just saying. Just saying.
Oh, that's rough. Thank you in chat for the clip. I'm going to have to copy that link before it goes away.
Yeah, that was a the best part about that is I see and I'm just like, yep, the only thing I can pray for, please give me bait block silver arrows, and then just it was beautiful.
and unfortunately, with the rules of the bracket stage, Isolated could go into level 9, find every single hint room in level 9, and still not know that the silver arrows are not there.
True, but the interesting ISO did just pop into 5 really quickly, and then pop back out. No bombs here, so it's looking like he's got the right idea to find where the bow is going to be. Unfortunately, we know where that's going to lead.
Yeah.
Although both of our runners with a metric ton of rupees, a metric ton of keys, and absolutely 0 explosives.
And we have not even seen a bomb upgrade anywhere.
That's 2 of your 3 hints in level 9, fam. I might be evil.
I'm hoping for the silver to kill the beast lies somewhere.
Oh my god, that would be the trolliest hint.
You get so excited at that point because you're looking for silver arrows, and then it just says somewhere.
Yeah.
You'd almost rather it say elsewhere at that point, so you know what you're dealing with.
Yep.
But no, somewhere. So
somewhere.
Isolated's found bombs now.
Over the rainbow. Is it too late for karaoke Saturday night?
On Friday? I would think not.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. And JKoper gonna find the red ring here. We're gonna get some red Trogdor action.
Ooh, that is prime burninating action.
Prime. USDA choice prime?
So, Amazon Prime.
Fair
so
enough.
we got Isolated going into level 5, which is the correct play. Sort of.
Kind of.
If all he needed was the bow, this would be the correct play.
Can we talk about how bright both of these dungeons are right now? Bubble Pop Pink and, oh my god, like radioactive banana yellow.
And I just replaced the bulb in my TV downstairs, so I know Solid Wife is getting blown away by these colors right now. As JKoper has the full Triforce of Wisdom at this point. Has he found level 9 though?
Yes, he did.
Does he know he's a couple of screens away from level 9?
Yes, he did find level 9 earlier,
Okay.
but he needs bombs right now.
Good.
Red Trogdor needs bombs badly.
Yeah, you're not going to make it very far in level 9 with 0 bombs, no matter how many rupees keys you have.
I've done that before. It's not fun.
No, and so we can go ahead and put down as he picks up 1 bomb, and he's got another chance. Unfortunately, no. He's going to go in there, and we can pencil it in or ink it in now, I guess. White Sword and the Heart Container are in level 9.
Yeah, and this is a very muted level 9. Hi, Patra. How are you?
Earth Tones.
I guess it's better than Sepia Tones.
Yeah. As JKoper chooses to go up, then left. Hope he can avoid the bottom right-hand corner Zelda troll, where you search the entire dungeon only to realize she was right in front of you the entire time.
That's my favorite kind of troll. Ooh, that's bad news for ISO. One of the 3 hints taken up by a troll hint. The Lever asking us if we're going to upgrade to Windows 10.
Not anytime soon.
My computer came stock with it, unfortunately.
Mine came stock with Vista. I am
Vista
currently
still
not
works?
using. I am currently not using said computer, nor is anyone else. So Isolated playing some bomb hole fun. He needs to go down, I believe, 1 more screen, and then bomb to the right. Here with his last bomb to discover, yes, the path that will take him to the bow in level 5.
Worst. I mean, great thing because it's the bow, but again, the worst possible scenario for ISO here is this bow in this Darknet room. Now, JKoper's going to go ahead and kill off this Patra here because he wants to know if that door is the door to Zelda.
Now, is Trogdor considered an enemy sprite? So
No, Trogdor is not. Trogdor is not considered an enemy sprite. Trogdor is considered a Trogdor sprite.
Okay, so Trogdor kills Ganon and rescues Zelda.
Trogdor burninates everything and rescues what Trogdor wants.
So there's the bow for ISO. So he's probably going to go straight back to level 2 now and think that his quest to get into level 9 is done. Which it is. His quest to complete level 9, however, very far from over.
Alright, so Ice is going to make his way back through the treacherous level 2 here. I say treacherous because we have Wizrobes and Lionels. Red Ring going to make it a whole lot easier than the first time through here. JKoper continuing the path through level 9. We know JKoper is looking for a couple of things. We've already mentioned the shutter door not opening up when the room is clear to find Zelda. But we're also going to be listening for the delicious sound of bacon. That's right. We are listening for Ganon so we can kill him and get ourselves some delicious, fresh, homemade smoked pork product.
And
also, seriously, that level 2 map is just beautiful. And the more I think of it, the more it's not just a rope with a backpack. It's like a grandpa rope with a backpack. It just looks like an old turtle.
I thought an old turtle was exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's like an old turtle's the other one, man. Like, this sprite is beautiful. Like, this map is beautiful. Like, I could go on for like 500 words about this level 2 map.
Grandpa Turtle.
Yep, like the old Grandpa Koopa in Paper Mario who can't get Mario's name right.
So yes, we are seeing quite an abundance of blue dark nuts here in level 9.
Yes, blue dark nuts. Disgusting.
Not my favorite thing. In fact, they are probably my least favorite enemy in this game.
Oh, no. I would much rather have blue dark nuts because at least you can clip into blocks and take them out.
Okay. I can understand that. But I guess from a speed run perspective, as opposed to more of a try to beat the seed randomizer perspective, I'm never gonna.
If we're talking vanilla, yeah, the dark nuts, especially in the room of requirement in vanilla level 5. Oh, yeah. God, yes. Ugh.
That's the ultimate run killer. RickDog51, you are in for a treat. Silvers are in level 6 behind a bait block.
Yes, if somebody could post the clip of our reaction, I believe CCX had that. That clip is worth it. Or Husbo's going to post it for us too.
Oh yeah, I got that mess copied and ready to paste at all times now. Now JKoper going to take the just please make sure she's not right here room to the right of the start in level 9 and finds, what do you know? Blue dark nuts.
Yeah, now Isolated's in a bit of a different spot than JKoper here, because Isolated's still looking for silver. So Isolated killing this room to get the door, and he's going to go ahead and check every staircase. And hey, look, there's the white sword immediately. JKoper, all he has to do is go down here, and he will have a sword upgrade. So eventually he'll probably take this, and here we go right now. So we're kind of having a nice little high five here for this. Unfortunately for ISO, that makes it now a 50-50 chance of, oh crap, where are my arrows?
Yeah. And if I were Isolated, please don't look in JKoper's backpack and see what he's got there that you don't. Those silver arrows.
Backpack. Nothing.
Although I guess I gotta say, if I had to choose between the white sword and a single heart container, at least now Isolated feels like he might get 2 useful items in level 9.
Yeah, I mean, white sword's definitely a good thing to find.
Oh, yeah.
I can sing the map song if you'd like me to, Jiggly Saint.
Who made Jiggly Saint the chancellor of this channel?
Too late, DH Dom and chat. Already beating me to it. I love you, DH. Don't ever change.
Is this another more different Patra with a shutter door than we saw earlier? I believe it is.
Isolated using the red ring to its fullest potential, just face tanking all the Patrites.
Yeah. Oh, that door opens. Now, JKoper did not check that shutter door.
But because JKoper doesn't need to, because JKoper has the compass.
Oh, fair point. I guess that makes a little bit more sense now. The compass shows the location of Zelda, for that question in chat.
So yes, now the fun part becomes, at what point does Isolated find the second item in 9 so we can go back out and get the silver arrows? And does he do it before JKoper? Never mind, we have Ganon!
That was impressive. JKoper bombed a Moldorm with his last bomb to get the bomb drop.
And then used that said bomb drop to go find himself a delicious little piggy.
And now he only has to get 8 hits instead of 15 like he thought when he walked in here. Ganon turns the color of the dungeon floor, and we have what Mr. Greenleaf sought so much when we entered level 9. Bacon.
Bacon! Hey, this is one of the few times I'm going to be okay with burning the bacon because that just means it's nice and crispy, which is the proper way to eat bacon. I'm not saying that, rubbery bacon is incorrect because bacon is delicious. I'm just saying crispy is the proper way to eat it. That's all.
And Canada, you're not fooling anybody. It's ham.
Definitely ham. And there we go. That is going to do it. I don't have the race room up, so you're going to have to give us the official SRL time here.
All right. JKoper has finished in first place in this race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 33 seconds.
And as you can see, Trogdor! Trogdor! I'm going to try to not do voices again.
Trogdor was a man. Maybe he was a dragon man.
I'm not sure if those are actually the lyrics
Then
or if you're
again,
making those up.
Maybe he was just a dragon. Oh, those are definitely the words.
Because I couldn't tell if they were, if they were the actual lyrics or they were something you were making up. Because Homestar Runner is just cheesy enough for that to be a thing.
Yes, the lyrics are: Trogdor was a man. Maybe he was a dragon man, or maybe he was just a dragon, but he was still Trogdor.
Oh my!
Burninating the countryside. Burninating the peasants, burninating all the people in their thatch roof cottages. Thatch roof cottages. And the Trogdor comes in the night. Scene. Although, you know, as we get past that, we see Isolated having his fun with that hideous blue Darknut room. And we do anticipate, in just a few moments, having a word with our winner of this race, the one and only JKoper.
Also, what has chat become?
Chat has become my fever dream.
Oh God! Note to self: stay away from Nashville.
We had snow. You'd feel right at home this week.
Okay, half an inch doesn't count as snow.
3 inches. We had 3 inches.
Oh wow! So the entire state was shut down for 3 days.
Yep. School was closed for a whole week.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think we get 3 inches, in 2 hours the other day. And know what I did? I got up and went to work.
Yeah, I did too. Until I got the issue with snow in Nashville is that it's usually covering a layer of ice. That nobody prepares for, and so sometimes your car gets stuck on a hill.
Well, even if you know how to drive in the winter, nobody knows how to drive on ice.
Exactly. So the snow, I have no issue with the snow. It's the ice that really gets me. And Michigan can laugh at me all at once. I was up there over New Year's, and I endured the negative 13 degrees and the constant snowing. I'm tough on that.
Only negative 13?
Yeah, right.
Is that with or without the wind chill?
That was before wind chill because there was no wind. It was actually not that bad that night.
Let's say only negative 13. Yeah.
And we have a ding.
No, that's a JKoper, not a ding.
Welcome, JKoper. Congratulations on that win.
Thanks.
You may know this just because of how slow going the seed was. You were behind for quite a bit in that race.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I think the reason why I won this race is fairly obvious here, just looking at the restream a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, though I don't know how long he's been in 9 exactly. It doesn't look like his 9 coverage is that great.
He's been in there a decent amount.
Was he in 9 before me?
No, you were in 9 before.
He was
yeah.
not in 9 before
Okay,
you.
so all right, I don't feel too bad. If I was in 9 before him and I had silvers going in, then
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's been there for probably about almost 10 minutes, I would say, give or take.
Probably thereabouts. I mean, there was a turning point in this race where you immediately were the person who then had the lead.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when you discovered the bow in level 5 after Isolated had already gotten the Triforce out of 5 and not gotten the item.
Yeah, I was already in too many dungeons with no hope of a useful item, and I knew I needed the ladder and the bow, obviously, so
Yeah.
it seemed very worth digging the item.
Yeah, and so that was the moment where you took the lead. The moment where the race was all but officially over was that bait block in level 6 for the silver arrows.
Yeah, but the not buying bait in this seed is kind of inexplicable because there was so much money and bait was really cheap in several convenient spots. So, I don't know if he just didn't come across the bait at a convenient time or was in 6 too early or what. But I figured when I saw the silver arrows there that was quite possibly a big moment, even though I didn't think that it reasonably should be based on how easy it should be to address a bait block in this seed. And he's got 255 rupees right now.
Yeah, as
he
you did
didn't
for
find
most
a bomb
of the run
either, did he?
But yeah, it was a situation where I'm not even sure, with as concentrated as these dungeons were in the southeast corner. We called it the ESPN seed because they were all focused on the southeast. I'm not even sure if he ever went to vanilla level 1, which is where I believe you purchased your commercial grade beef.
Oh, but I'm pretty sure it was in more than one spot for that price. I think there were 3 shops probably, but maybe 2 available. I don't know. I can tell you that wasting on my bombs in 7 was a bit costly for me since I did several things just because I hadn't found 9 yet in the end, and then found it in one of the 2 spots that I hadn't checked in Death Mountain, so that was a bit annoying. I was still item hunting a little after silvers and also checking those few one-off spots before I went back up there. Anyway, whatever. It worked out fine. Yeah. I'm definitely no.
Yeah.
I did I felt great all during AGDQ, but then came home and even though I wasn't tired, I just little bit of sick, something flu-like, I don't know, but that's
great. I need a recovery nap from my vacation.
Well, no, not exactly, because I was definitely sick. I was really achy and everything. And even after getting a couple decent nights sleep, I still slept for 24 hours in 2 days. And last night I didn't really sleep. Instead, when I stopped streaming, I watched people play some blind second quest. Someone else before Arcus did. And then I went to bed at 2 p.m. So I got a good
mid-evening for
5 hours of sleep or something.
Yeah.
Before this.
So there's definitely something that as someone who is, just looking at the brackets, it's on my mind. It's probably on anybody's mind who looked at the brackets. There is the potential, with you advancing here, should Bresticle win his race against Your Majesty, we will see a rematch of one of the tightest and most thrilling races of the Swiss rounds. Give us your thoughts on a potential rematch there with BT.
Looking forward to it if it happens, I guess. I mean, only partially looking forward to it, of course. You can't. There's got to be a little bit of fear, anxiety about that. But if you want to do well in the tournament, you gotta play and beat the people who are really good at some point. So might as well get it started, I guess. Just goes to show how deep the field is, and maybe a little bit about how I should have done better in the Swiss rounds. That I'm racing someone like BT so early. So yeah.
something we're seeing on Isolated side here. He's very frequently running out of bombs in level 9. We never saw either bomb upgrade.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to just say before, and we were talking over each other. But I'm yeah. I was noticing, with his low bombs and his max money that he probably didn't have a bomb upgrade. Yeah, I have no idea where they would be. Probably, in 7 or 8, I guess.
Yeah, so they might be hiding with all those items in level 8 we didn't bother finding because we got the double hint for them.
Yeah, I was very prepared to have to dig the power bracelet out of 8. Like, that was the first place I was going to go back to if I didn't find 9 up in Death Mountain, and then maybe I was going to look for the item in 7 as well, but yeah, the red candle being the white sword item was a bit of a disappointment. Would have been nice to see the raft there, though it would have just wasted time in the end, but it just made me more convinced that I was gonna probably be going back into level 8. But then at the same time, I don't know, little bit of relief when I found 9 in the last possible spot that required digging another item. But at the same time, it's like, oh, that certainly didn't save me any time, because this didn't seem, maybe if you just did Death Mountain last, then could have also been an overworld full clear. But the way that I full cleared it was very not straightforward, so I can't imagine that he took a route anything close to what I did.
No, he certainly didn't. He did not. He found level 7 very late, but he had found all those other dungeons pretty early on, and that's why it certainly felt like he had a pretty sizable lead early on, because he had dug a couple of Triforces out. Unfortunately, they were in levels, like 5 and 3. So we're looking for ladders and bows, and he's got he's got to go back to those dungeons in some situations.
Oh, did he leave without the ladder too?
I'm not sure if he left without the ladder. I know obviously he definitely left without the bow and without the silvers. He may have gotten ladder. He left 3 a couple of times. Maybe he didn't leave without it before he got the Triforce, though. But yeah, that's I want to say, the last couple things to mention specifically about this seed. One was the lack of bomb upgrades, and the other was the extreme prevalence of Gleeok.
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
My Gleeok fight was a little shameful, and I had a couple close calls there. And I don't think, I don't know that fighting any of them was necessary at all. I don't think it was.
Yeah,
but
they seem to be very unfruitful.
I don't think that a single one gave me anything useful, but it was still kind of fun. They had a ton of HP though. I think they had like max HP on everything. So it was annoying, but it was still amusing enough. If I wouldn't have had the wand, I would have been really annoyed. But it was just a fun little diversion.
I know. Perhaps I couldn't see you physically during this race, but just imagining, perhaps the most frustrating moment for you was probably when you were in level 4 and you died to that Landmola, and then made it back to the Landmola only to discover they had the compass to let you know that you were ladder blocked from the Triforce.
No, that was just a bad decision on my part. It didn't matter if they had the compass or not. I knew that the Triforce was either in there or it was ladder blocked, and there was no real purpose to going back in there without the ladder. Like the potential time cost was not worth it. It was a bad decision to go back in. I should have waited until I had the ladder. Since that about sums it up.
So we are seeing an exercise in frustration on Isolated side. He's tried everything he can think of, and unfortunately, at this point, you'd almost just rather him go ahead and find the heart container, so that he knows what he's working with.
Yeah, of course. You always want that, but I have no idea where it is. Who knows? It could be Ganon blocked.
Yeah, like when you see his exploration in level 9, you notice, a huge portion of it is the area is down that southwest. That was where Ganon was, right?
Yeah, Ganon was in the southwest. I felt good that I bombed down there. Did he... Wait, so it doesn't necessarily look like he went down where Ganon is.
I don't know that he ever has, and I certainly know he didn't force a bomb drop on Moldorm with his last bomb to have enough bombs to bomb into Ganon's room like you did.
Well, that wasn't enough to bomb into Ganon's room because I had one left, so I don't know if I needed a bomb after that, but that's...
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you used your last bomb to get bombs in that situation.
Well, yeah, I used my last bomb so that I'd have bombs left.
Gotcha.
After I bombed into Ganon's room. But I always look at Moldorms as a bomb forcing opportunity. I mean, they have 10 parts and they move really slow, so... You have to be careful when you do it, though. If you have the wand, if you make contact with them directly with the wand, then it'll often count as 2 hits. So that's why I was keeping my distance when I was hitting them, because sometimes it'll count as 2 and then it'll wreck the force. But there's certainly obviously it wouldn't have cost me the race at this point. I'm pretty sure I could have gotten a bomb drop if I needed it by now. Yeah. But that's not something you want to cost you the race when there's no reason not to. Oh, it looks now he's bombing down where he needs to, just where I did.
Yeah, I think you have to take that key door down, or maybe you can bomb down from this room.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can hear Ganon's roar. It's just a matter of whether or not you can bomb down. Room. Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. Taking the key door down probably would have been a better idea. So, Yunos made a comment to me when he was visiting recently, or when I was visiting him recently, that I hadn't really thought of before. But it seems to be true, I guess. I had never thought of doors in Randomizer as like two-way objects, because he said you don't want to go through a shutter door if you don't have to, because it's more likely to have a shutter door on the other side. So
I forgot to interrupt there, but Isolated did just finally come across the heart container here in level 9, so he knows he has to make his way back to 6 now.
Yeah, and it was in the room. It was in the room to the right of the Moldorms.
Yeah, I'm watching with you guys. I'm watching the restream.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I also like how he had one bomb left in the same place as me. Though he had one bomb left a ton of times in level 9, it seems, so... But yeah, so apparently, just like in vanilla, shutters are more likely to be shutters on both sides, I guess. So, it's not likely that the situations where you'll key through a door and find a shutter on the other side are relatively more rare. So, I guess go through opening key doors first, unless you don't care if you hit a shutter or something, so...
Which is interesting, because in my mind, and this may be one of the reasons that he's Yunos and I'm Liquid Husband, I would go through that shutter door if I got it to open, because that was something I had to actually work for, as opposed to a randomly open door that was here to begin with.
Well, it's like in his case there, I don't know how much he really worked for that shutter to open. It seemed like a pretty easy room right there, I believe. Like, there was a bunch of gels. But he could have put off killing the gels, perhaps, and just gone straight through the key door, too. Since didn't have a ton of reason to kill them, though maybe he could have got a random bomber. We don't have a map yet either, do we?
No. Oh, and he's so close to the bait.
Yeah. He's gonna go there next, isn't he? Oh, he turned the wrong way. All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's going now.
Well, he'll
I think he's looking for the bait, but he might have mismarked his map.
or maybe he just doesn't know. It's fine. I don't always mark things down like bait. So
Yeah, bait's definitely one of those where you don't actually map it out for the most part.
yeah, sometimes I write it down when I'm feeling awfully proud of myself for remembering things, but I'm lucky if I write down all the levels. So yeah. How many of these hints did he buy?
He bought the 3 that were the
cheap
2,
ones.
the ones about level 8, and then whatever the community hint that was also in there was. I know he bought those 3. I don't know that he bought the others.
Yeah, I bought one out of the expensive shop, and it was just garbage, I think. I feel like I forgot a hint along the way somewhere. I don't know what other items or whatever levels did I have hints for.
There was a hint for level 7, like its location being on Death Mountain. I don't know if you got that hint or not. You may not have, because I don't know that you found level 6.
I did get that hint, but it was after I had found 7 already.
Yeah.
But I meant for locations of items.
Oh, items? No, I don't recall any other ones. Just there was level 4 had the recorder. You bought that may have been the one you bought.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be it.
That's the only other hint I remember with an item attached to it.
Yeah, not sure if the recorder saved me much time or not.
Yeah, with those. Well, I mean, if you had known that level 9 was right next to level 7, you recorder to level 7 from the other side of Hyrule where all the other dungeons were?
Oh, this was. Sorry, this was also a pretty solid shape for level 6 here. You had to I guess he doesn't have the map yet, so you don't see, but you had to go.
Yeah, there was like a hole in the middle of it, wasn't there?
Yeah, but like it looked like the more direct route was the left side, but it dead ended, so you had to go around the right side. And this place was also this wasn't ladder blocked here. This was a garbage room right here. You had to bomb up. Why doesn't he have the map? I think it was in one of the rooms he went through and he just didn't clear it. So maybe he'll do that, or I don't know. How did he get the compass and not the map? It seems odd to me. I don't know.
It was a long time ago, so I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, I just know that I had the map before the compass. I think that they were in consecutive rooms. That the compass was in the middle room at the start, and the map was in the room to the right of that, I believe. But maps are good. You should get them.
And he's about to discover the bad news. Oh, he has the bait.
Yeah, he went and bought it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he must have known this already. There's no way he wasn't hunting out the bait before coming here without already knowing that it was bait block. When you have one item left, you don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna go get the bait," or track down bait, even though I don't know where it is before going into this level. Don't die, man.
My stream had jumped, so I may have missed that spot. So now he can refill his health here, go to level 9 with his potions, his silver arrows. He knows where Ganon is. He knows where Zelda is. It's just a matter of execution at this point.
And maybe a little remembering.
Yeah, fortunately, Ganon's general area was the last thing he did see. And with that being the first place he has to go, he's well suited for combat. He has the red ring. I think we can cautiously believe in Isolated closing this out here. Now, was there a direct walk over to Ganon, or was the staircase required?
I have no clue. I didn't have to address that question.
I guess
I think it's a direct walk, but I don't remember. I'm not mapping out the 9 myself, so I couldn't tell you.
he seems to remember a route that involved a staircase. So
Yeah, it felt like when I was starting out that I was kind of constricted to the right side, and I was trying to find some ways over to the left, and I ended up taking several staircases. So I don't know if there was. Oh yeah, he went directly to the right spot, so it looks like he's got a pretty good map of 9 going on here. But yeah, it's possible that there was a correct route to or a walking route to Ganon, but
yeah. Although it doesn't seem likely, since the room to the right of that Moldorm room had a staircase on the far right end of it, that means you couldn't come from that direction.
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't have many bombs in 9, so I was being a bit conservative with them. Yeah. I'm gonna guess he's gonna get this fight. He should.
Yeah, he certainly has a distinct advantage at this point over Ganon.
You'd think invisibility would be a bigger advantage.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, I had never watched Ganon's actual movement pattern until a couple of days ago, and I didn't realize. I guess in my head, I just always imagined that he transported from one spot to another, as opposed to actually being a perpetual motion.
Yeah, that's definitely how it feels, because you just see the fireballs intermittently.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking he's in that spot for that moment, and then he's going to flash into a different spot. But for anyone who has never seen it, he actually just kind of rolls around the screen in a figure 8 pattern, I guess would be the best way to describe it.
Yep.
Yeah. Squared off figure 8s.
As we have Isolated making his way through all the shutter doors on his way to completion.
Same route I took.
And here we go in the room with Zelda, and Isolated has finished this race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 2 seconds. All things considered, obviously disappointing for him, but man, a wild ride at the beginning of the seed, and then just some very unfortunate missteps.
Yeah, that's 27 and a half minutes difference, but it wasn't a race that played out like a 27 and a half minute difference. Not when we were in 9, presumably very close to each other, and he was like 2 rooms away from having silvers going in there. So,
yeah.
Let's see if he's is he coming in for an interview? I don't know. Oh, there he is.
Looks like we have our answer.
Yeah, Isolated. GG.
GG.
Yeah.
I think go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think I can say with 100% confidence that is the worst 9 I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna guess I've had some that were worse than the one you just had for sure. But yeah. I am guessing that this race, even though it doesn't look like we were close, I think I beat you into 9, but not by very much. But I just had bait the first time in 6, and you didn't apparently.
That's exactly what it was, I think.
Yeah. But there was so much money on the overworld, and the bait was in a couple convenient spots and pretty cheap, so I didn't see any reason not to buy it.
I just forgot to buy it is all.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I might have gone out of my way to buy it. I probably would have bought it when I bought arrows later if I didn't buy it the first time that I saw it. But I just ran into it, and I had amount of money for bait and not enough for arrows. So I was like, I'm gonna buy this now. It's a good deal, you know. You can say something about buying something just because it's on sale or something. But anyway, yeah. So I guess that was a big thing. But otherwise, I don't know. I guess I was way behind at the start because I took a wonky route and I went up to Death Mountain early. Found 7 and ran out of bombs there. So I got out of there and then I found 9 with the in my last overworld spot that wasn't raft or PB. But
Yeah. I went to Death Mountain later. I actually found 2, then 6. Got a hint about 1 being by a lake and thought I was recorder or raft blocked. Because I forgot that where 1 is actually considered by a lake.
oh yeah, the corner of the lake there. I don't generally tend to forget those things since I created the hints. So
That's pretty fair.
yeah. But I also didn't find the hint for 1. I found 1 before 8, I think. Where oh, 8's on the coast. Yeah, I found 1 before 8 for sure.
I did manage to get hints for both the items in 8, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, I also bought those, and I didn't find either item in 8. But I was prepared to have to go back into 8 for the power bracelet because I... Oh, wait, I had the raft. Did I have the raft? Where was the
It
raft?
was the floor drop in 1.
Oh, man, I completely forgot that I had the raft. Good work. This is why I need people to yell at me that I've already got things. I'm much more likely to think that I don't have something when I do it than to think that I do have something when I don't. But
Wait,
well, that's a little silly because that would have meant what I probably would have done then is if I had not found 9 going into 7, I might have looked for the... Oh, I already found the item in 7 anyway. That was the red ring. But I probably would have went back to 8, even though I had the raft. And then, oh man, I would have been embarrassed if the if 9 was on a raft spot.
And
yeah,
and had the raft and didn't realize it. That would have been
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah, that would have been quite silly. Well, I'm glad it didn't come to that.
I have a very important question here, ISO. Is there a specific reason that you chose Insight as your rune word for the file names?
yes, because I needed the meditation aura to stay calm because I was kind of nervous coming in.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't catch anything from your one day at AGDQ, did you?
Nope.
Yeah, because I've been feeling kind of wiped since then. So, you know, I'd you know, don't get me wrong, I'd go to the AGDQ every other week if it meant a week of being sick in between those. But you know, just an annoying thing that happens sometimes. Yeah. So I wasn't feeling my best here, but oh whatever. It was still fun. Good to get the race done and in.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And I believe if I'm reading the bracket correctly, you are both paired off with the respective winner and loser of the match between BT and Your Majesty. So those are things to look forward to. We already talked to JKoper about the possibility. Obviously, not discrediting Your Majesty at all. Has every opportunity to take that race against BT, but the possibility of that rematch in the from the Swiss round of the race that I believe was decided by, what was it? Was it 15 seconds?
I think it was like 6 seconds.
It was 6. I remember there was one that was 15 and one that was 6. I can't remember which one was which. So that was a 6-second one. ISO, you got any thoughts about with your back against the wall now? It's win or go home. What is that going to change? Will that change your strategy going into a run in any way, shape, or form?
Outside of buying meat when it's easily purchasable.
Well, I don't know that we'll get another money seed quite as good as this one for a while.
I probably need to find a rune word that will suit me when I in back against the wall situations. I'll find something.
Well, the most soothing thing you can do is maybe go over to the clips portion of the Discord and listen to me and TG freak out over the bait blocked silver arrows.
No, I should go do that. Let me go do that.
It was a shining moment for sure.
It was, but I believe with that, that's all we're gonna have for you guys tonight, unless I'm missing something completely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's another race over on
SG3.
Speed Gaming 3 started back at the top of the previous hours. It's going on for about an hour now between Pierpont Limpkin and Matt Trick.
Yep.
Interesting
And we
enough,
do have two races.
The tracker for that one is TGE, so give some props to him.
Actually, RC Drone took over for me. I'm not that good. But in other news, we do have two races coming up for you tomorrow right at noontime here on Randomania and Randomania 2. Here on Randomania 2 and Randomania 3, actually, now that I think about it. Randomania 2 is going to have Crimson Avix versus King Doll, and Randomania 3 is going to have Jam Evlor versus Jam.
Jam versus who?
Janth?
Oh, Janth.
Janth?
Okay, I heard Jam, and I...
Yes, Jam is playing himself.
That sounds like a tough matchup for both of them.
Yeah.
I want to see how that goes.
Spoiler alert, Jam gets super lucky in level 9 and wins.
Yeah, that sucks for Jam, though.
That does suck for Jam.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Jam has the meat when he needs it.
Jam has the meat. That seems related to previous clips in the Discord there.
Yep.
All right. So are we kicking them over to Speed Gaming 3?
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. All right, everybody. So with that, make sure you give both of our owners a follow if you haven't done so already. Please give some love to our restream behind the scenes, JK Allen, and some love to Liquid Husband, who did some of this by himself while I was too busy calling another match, and then jumped in here only to be surprised by meat block skewers.
Shish kebab of the highest order. I'm vain, so it never bothered me to be on commentary by myself, but I very much appreciate your help, TGE, and thanks as well to Laurie for helping us get things kicked off tonight.
Yeah, and also we got to give some love to Melee Wizard doing all of the tracking behind the scenes.
Oh yes, fantastic job, Melee.
So I believe with that, we're going to be kicking everybody over to Speed Gaming 3. So on behalf of Liquid Husband, I am the Green Leaf Effect, reminding everybody, of course, to keep hailing.